Microsoft's Build event is happening right now, and they had their first day of keynotes yesterday. They announced a ton of new features, product launches, and almost all of it was related to AI. And day one is a 9-hour video. So let's watch the whole thing together. Just kidding. We'll watch the most interesting parts, and I'll comment on it, and I want to hear what you think in the comments below as well. So let's watch. All right, so Satya Nadella obviously makes an appearance. Sam Altman makes an appearance. All right, so first up, Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, makes his opening keynote.
Good morning. Good morning. It's fantastic to be back.
And by the way, I believe that Satya Nadella is top 3 CEOs, potentially of all time, but certainly of this generation of CEOs, especially in his current form. He is investing so heavily in AI, and not just OpenAI. He is investing across the board. He's partnering with Meta for open source. He's investing in a ton of companies. He's building out data centers for AI. So he is putting Microsoft all in on AI, and it will pay off, in my opinion. All right, so he talks about scaling laws at this section, and I find it pretty interesting to see the acceleration of compute that's happening right now. So let me just play this little clip quickly.
Of DNNs are really, along with the model architecture, interesting ways to use data, generate data, are really driving this intelligence revolution. You could say Moore's law was probably more stable in the sense that it was scaling at maybe 15 months, 18 months. We now have these things that are scaling every 6 months or doubling every 6 months. What we have, though, with the effect of these scaling laws is a new natural user interface that's multimodal. That means supports text, speech, images, video as input and output. We have memory that retains important context, recalls both our personal knowledge and data across our apps and devices. We have new reasoning and planning capabilities that helps us understand very complex context and complete complex tasks, right, while reducing the cognitive load on us.
All right, now he's going to talk about their 3 platforms that they've just built or they've been building, one of which is Microsoft Copilot, which is essentially AI built into every layer of the Windows operating system. And Microsoft is going to be talking about Copilot Plus as well, but let's see what he has to say about this.
Is Microsoft Copilot, which is your everyday companion. It puts knowledge and expertise at your fingertips, helps you act on it. And we built the Copilot stack so that you can build your AI applications and solutions and experiences. And just yesterday, we introduced a new category of Copilot Plus PCs, the fastest AI-first PCs ever built.
All right, so let's pause for a second. Copilot Plus PC is really interesting. These are fully featured laptops or computers in general that have special chips to accelerate local large language models. But it's interesting. And again, I've said this from the beginning, Microsoft is really investing in everything AI related. So closed source with OpenAI, open source with Meta. They're investing in silicon in the hardware itself that accelerates on-device large language models. So again, across the board, just really putting bets on every single piece of the AI infrastructure.
All 3 of these things are exciting platforms, but I want to start with Copilot Plus PCs. We're exposing AI as a first-class namespace for Windows. This week, we're introducing the Windows Copilot runtime to make Windows the best platform for you to be able to build your AI applications. Yeah. What Win32 was to graphical user interface, we believe the Windows Copilot runtime will be for AI.
That's kind of insane to think about. Like, pause for a second. He is saying the graphical user interface for the terminal, what was really just a terminal before, is the same level as we're seeing now that AI will be to our current computing, kind of the way we interact with computers. So he is extremely bullish, to say the least, on AI, and they are making it a first-class citizen in Windows. And I have some videos coming about this, so stay tuned for that.
Windows Copilot library, a collection of these ready-to-use local APIs that help you integrate into your new experiences all of the AI capabilities that we
And I think I'm going to be talking about this through the entire video, but again, they are investing heavily in local open source. That is what Phi is, PHI. That is a local open source model. And I love that they are investing heavily in that in parallel to closed source models. So really bolstering both sides of the equation. All right, now he's going to talk about the different ways to access models. And this is what I've been saying since the beginning of the video. So let's take a look.
But of course, if you want to access these models itself, right, you can directly call them through APIs. We have 40 plus models available out of the box, including Phi-Silica, our newest member of our small language family model, which we specifically designed to run locally on your NPUs on Copilot Plus PCs.
And if you heard that, he called it an NPU, not a GPU. And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Bringing that lightning fast local inference to the device. You know, the other thing is the Copilot library also makes it easy for you to incorporate RAG inside of your applications with on-device data, right? It gives you the right tools to build a vector store within your app. It enables you to do that semantic search that you saw with Recall, but now you can.
Okay, Recall is something else I'm going to be showing you later in this video. Essentially what it is, if you've seen Rewind AI, it basically memorizes or looks at everything you're doing on your PC, which I don't know if I love, to be honest, but hopefully they have some good privacy settings and deletion settings, but it can recall everything you do. So it's super helpful if you're okay with that compromise of privacy. Okay, now he goes on to talk about some developer-focused products that are launching. It's quite technical. I'm going to skip over it for the purpose of this video. All right, and NVIDIA and Microsoft are partnering together as we kind of thought they would. They have a strong partnership. NVIDIA is delivering a lot of the hardware, obviously, but also a lot of the software to fine-tune your models, to train your models, CUDA. So it'll be really interesting, and not investment advice, but boy, Microsoft is really firing on all cylinders right now. All right, now he's going to say a little bit about OpenAI and how important they are to Microsoft. So let's take a look.
And it all starts, though, with our most strategic and most important partnership with OpenAI.
Honestly, I think he's saying that because he's trying to appease Sam Altman. If I were Sam Altman running OpenAI and my partner, who owns 49% of my company, is out investing in direct competitors to me, Meta, right? Meta with Llama and the open source movement, I would be a little upset. Now, obviously, I would not be in a position to make a closed source company, but assuming I were, I would be upset. Okay, now here's a really cool example of Copilot on Windows, and this is a demo. Somebody's playing Minecraft. Copilot can read the screen and give that person tips on how to play Minecraft. Now, if this sounds familiar, it is essentially what GPT-4o launched, but it's coming sooner to Copilot, and it's branded as Copilot. So it's really interesting how Microsoft is playing this relationship with OpenAI. This is essentially the ChatGPT desktop app. Again, just branded Copilot, but it has all the same functionality. It can read your screen. It can communicate in a very natural voice. Let's watch this demo.
Hey, Copilot, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great, and it looks like you're about to dive into some Minecraft. Ready to build, explore, and maybe dodge a few mobs?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make a sword. My son plays this game all the time, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
No worries. I'm here to help you impress your son. I see you've got a crafting table in front of you, which is a great start. To craft a sword, you'll need some materials. Can you open your inventory? Just press E on your keyboard.
Yeah, do I have what I need?
Let's see. You've got some sticks, perfect for the sword's handle, but it looks like you're missing the material for the blade. You can use wood, stone, iron, gold, or diamond. Let's start by gathering some wood or stone. Shall we head out and find some resources?
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh my God, what's that?
Oh no, it's a zombie!
All right, so I'm making a big assumption that this is all at 1x speed and unedited. It does look that way, and the latency is very, very fast, which is very impressive. And overall, it's just very impressive. You can have this artificial intelligence assistant helping you with everything you're doing. It doesn't have to be a game. It could be your work, it could be emails, it could be everything. This is a really compelling offering from Microsoft for people to use Windows.
Run! You need to get away from it fast. Either sprint away or quickly build a tower of blocks straight up to get out of its reach. If you can find a shelter or dig into the side of a hill, do it now. Just make sure it can't reach you.
All right, I think I might be safe now.
Cool. That was a close one. Great job finding shelter.
Did I just notice they added echo to the voice, or is that just reverb? I'm a little confused. That would be incredibly impressive if they actually added echo to the voice because the player is in a cave. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Am I overanalyzing this? All right, here is another demo that we'll watch. I believe this one is going to be shopping, which that's not my favorite use case to show off as a demo, but let's watch it anyways.
All right, let me ask the agent here.
Hey, Seth. How's it going? What can I help you with today?
I am fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm in such a hurry. I'm gonna go on an overnight camping hike where we're camping all this. It's gonna be dark, cold. Should I use these shoes? It's the mountains. It's probably gonna be cold.
Great, no worries. Let me take a look. Those are the Trek Star hiking sandals. While they're fantastic for summer hikes and keeping your feet cool, they might not be the best choice for cold
Oh my goodness.
mountain
So, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Pick the best thing that I.
Yeah, so this is a lot of what we've seen already with GPT-4o. He interrupts the model. That is a new feature that I haven't had access to yet because we don't have access to the voice model, but I can't wait to play with it in Copilot and GPT-4o, but I just don't have access yet, but this is a lot of what we've seen.
I should use, and can you just add it to my cart? Just one product.
No worries. Let's go with the Trek Ready hiking boots. They're durable, provide great ankle support, and most importantly, they'll keep your feet warm in the cold mountains. I'll add them to your cart now.
Oh,
ready for checkout?
I see that. Amazing.
Okay, so wow, very impressive. The AI can actually control your screen. That is something that really only Microsoft could have enabled. It is AI as a first-class citizen, and it was actually able to control this user's screen. This is really the future of how humans are going to interact with computers for the most part. We're just going to talk to an agent, and the agent is going to perform actions on our behalf.
Muchísimas gracias. Espero que me vaya bien en el campamento.
De nada, Seth. Disfruta de tu campamento y mantente.
Okay, so then without saying anything, he switches to Spanish, and so does the AI model. Again, without saying a word about it. Not, hey, I want to speak in Spanish going forward. He just started speaking and the model got it. Very cool. I want to thank the sponsor of this video, the Open Institute of Technology. OPIT is an online, fully EU accredited higher education institution whose mission is to train the next generation of technology leaders by offering high quality, modern, affordable degrees in this field. For those who are only starting their path in tech, OPIT offers bachelor's degrees in digital business and modern computer science. And for those who want to gain a deeper level of understanding of these topics and already have a bachelor's degree in any field, OPIT offers master's degrees in applied data science and AI, digital business, enterprise cybersecurity, and responsible AI. Access courses anytime, anywhere with live sessions and plenty of community support. Get career support, internships, and affordable pricing with ECTS recognition. So check it out. Apply now at opit.com. And now, back to the video. All right, now I just want to show this screen for a second. This really shows how they are absolutely investing in everybody and including everybody, not just OpenAI. So they have the DESA model, they have the Mistral Large here, Databricks model, which is fantastic. I have a video that I tested that. The Cohere Command R, Cohere Embed, MetaLlama 3, Snowflake, Phi-3 Mini, more Mistral, more Phis. So cool. And I haven't seen the Phi-3 Vision yet. I saw Phi-3 Medium was just announced, and I do have that downloaded and I'm going to be testing that soon. But Phi-3 Vision, I can't wait to test that. All right, let's keep watching. And yeah, here it is. Microsoft loves open source. So here's an expanded partnership with Hugging Face and some of the features of the partnership. Additional models coming to Azure AI, deeper integration with Azure AI Studio, and TGI enabled for optimized runtime. So a little bit about that. Let's go ahead now. And here is their Phi-3 benchmarks. So Phi-3 Medium, the model quality is at about 78, higher than all the other models. And then in terms of the size, it sits right in the middle. So here's Gemma 2, of course, a little ding at Google. Here's Llama 3 8B, Mixtral, which is just about the same size, but worse in quality. Now, what's interesting is the Phi-3 small model is almost the same as the Phi-3 medium in terms of quality, but it is much smaller. So I'm really impressed with the Phi-3 model. All right, now he's going to talk about some additions to the Phi-3 family. Let's watch that.
And today we are adding new models to the Phi-3 family to add even more flexibility across that quality cost curve. We're introducing Phi-3 Vision, a 4.2 billion parameter multimodal model with language and vision capabilities. It can be used to reason over real-world images or generate insights and answer questions about images, as you can see right here. Yeah. And we're also making a 7 billion parameter Phi-3 small and a 14 billion parameter Phi-3 medium models available. With Phi, you can build apps that span the web, Android, iOS, Windows, and the edge. They can take advantage of local hardware when available and fall back on the cloud when not, simplifying really all of what we as developers have to do to support multiple platforms using one AI model.
All right, now he's going to talk a little bit about GitHub Copilot. And I want to preface with Devin, the closed source Devin, just announced a partnership with Microsoft that it is going to be powering a lot of development productivity increases through that partnership and integration. And again, Microsoft is kind of betting everywhere. GitHub Copilot has this new workspaces product, which is directly competitive with Devin, but now they support both. All right, let's watch.
Was the first, I would say, hit product of this generative AI age. And it's the most widely adopted AI developer tools. 1.8 million subs across 50,000 organizations are using it.
Yeah, GitHub Copilot really changed the way people code, including myself. Completely changed it. Then when ChatGPT came out, it really just made it so, to be honest, I'm not writing a lot of code from scratch anymore. And I don't regret that at all. All right, so let's talk about Copilot a little bit more. He's going to give a few other demos about how it's going to be helpful, and I'm really excited about it. I may actually end up using my window machine more often now.
It can be in Loop, it can be in Planner, and many other places. I mean, think about it, right? It can be your meeting facilitator when you're in Teams, creating agendas, tracking time, taking notes for you, or a collaborator writing chats, surfacing the most important information, tracking action items, addressing unresolved issues. And it can even be your project manager, ensuring that every project that you're working on as a team is running smoothly.
Project managers across the world just shuddered. All right, the next segment I want to talk about is Microsoft CTO, which is who you're seeing here, bringing out Sam Altman and doing a talk with him. And there's some interesting points in here, so let's watch it together.
Do the next round of amazing things with it. And so with that, I'd like to bring Sam Altman to the stage. Hey, good to see you.
You too.
So, you are one of the busiest people on the planet.
A wild week.
It's a wild week. It's a wild year, man. Yeah. But so I really appreciate you taking time out to chat with us today. So I guess what I really wanted to start our conversation about, and like I asked you this question last week, is, there's just been an extraordinary amount of change over.
So I find this conversation to actually be really interesting. So I'm going to do kind of a supercut of just this segment of the conversation between Sam Altman and Microsoft's CTO. So I'm going to play that now.
Yeah, there's just been an extraordinary amount of change over the past year and a half, year. Like, what has been the thing that has surprised you most, like particularly relevant to an audience of developers?
Yeah. I mean, I'm delighted to be here. And obviously, great to see you, but developers have been such a core part of what's been happening this last year and a half. There's millions of people building on the platform. What people are doing is totally amazing. And the speed of adoption and talent and figuring out what to build with all of this over what has really not been very long. Like, when we put GPT-3 out in the API, some people thought it was cool, but it was narrow where the usability happened. And seeing what people have done with GPT-4 and seeing now what's happening with GPT-4o, even though it's new and hasn't been out that long, is quite remarkable. I've never seen a technology get adopted so quickly in such a meaningful way. What people are building, how people are finding out how to do things that we never even thought of possible, which is why it's always great to have an API. That's been very cool to see.
There's a version of AI that could have existed that is, like a bunch of smart people like building, things at extraordinary scale and then just building it into a bunch of products where everybody gets to passively use them. Like the really brilliant thing that you all have done is like taken the exact same set of things and like decided to make it available to like any developer who's able to sign up for an API key.
Yeah, we try to be really thoughtful about what makes a good API for this. There's going to be all kinds of ways people can use this, but the more this can just be a layer that gets built into every product, every service, the better. And we've tried to make it such that if you want to add intelligence to whatever you're doing, any product, any service, we make that very easy.
What are the category of things that people should be expecting over the next, K months?
So the most important thing, and this sounds like the most boring, obvious, trite thing I can say, but I think it's actually much deeper than it sounds. The most important thing is that the models are just going to get smarter, generally across the board. There'll be a lot of other things too, which we can talk about, but if you think about what happened from GPT-3 to 3.5 to 4, it just got smarter. And you could use it for all these things. It got a little more robust, it got much safer, both because the model got smarter and we put much more work into building the safety tools around it. It got more useful. But the underlying capability, this amazing emergent property of like we actually are seeming to increase the general capability of the model across the board, that's going to keep happening. And the jump that we have seen in the utility that a model can deliver with each of those half-step jumps in smartness, it's quite significant each time. So as we think about the next model and the next one, and the incredible things that developers are going to build with that, I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind. Also, speed and cost really matter to us. So with GPT-4o, we were able to bring the price down by half and double the speed. New modalities really matter. Voice mode has been actually a genuine surprise for me in how much I like the new voice mode, and when people start integrating that, I think that'll matter. But it's the overall intelligence that'll be coming that I think matters the most.
So one last thing before we let you go. So, you and I and like members of your team and members of the Microsoft team have been doing really an extraordinary volume of work over the past year and a half, 2 years, thinking about safe deployment of an awful lot of AI capability, like everything from APIs and developer tools to end products. And I think we have accumulated a really interesting volume of experience, like experience that's sort of hard to get if you're not doing deployments at this scale. So and I think you just mentioned something that's like really, really interesting, like part of the interesting and surprising progression of capabilities of these models means that they're more useful in like helping to like make AI systems safer. So I don't know whether you had some thoughts you wanted to share there as well.
When we first developed this technology, we spent a lot of time talking about, all right, we've made this thing, it's cool. Are we ever going to be able to get it to an acceptable level of robustness and safety? And now we kind of take that for granted with GPT-4. If you use it, it's far from perfect. We have more work to do, but it is generally considered robust enough and safe enough for a wide variety of uses. And that took an enormous amount of work across both teams and fundamental research. Like when we started this, we're like, we've got this thing, we've got this language model. It looks like kind of impressive and kind of not. And even then, how are we going to like get it aligned and what does it mean? What is it going to take to be able to deploy it? The number of different teams we've had to build up to go from research and creation of the model to safety systems to figuring out policy to how we do the monitoring. That's a huge amount of work, but it's necessary to be able to deploy these and use them. Like, when you take a medicine, you want to know it's going to be safe. When you use an AI model, you want to know it's going to be robust and behave the way you want, and have been super proud of the work the teams have done together. And I think it's amazing how fast this much work has happened, and that we can all now use this and say, oh yeah, it basically works. As the models get more powerful, there will be many new things we have to figure out as we move towards AGI. The level of complexity, and I think the new research that it'll take will increase. I'm sure we'll do that together. But we view this as a gate on being able to put these things out into the world, which we really want to do.
Yeah, it's definitely table stakes. So thank you so much for being with us here today. I really appreciate your time. It's awesome to hear from you.
Awesome.
Okay, so those were the highlights of day one of Microsoft's Build event. I think that the Windows operating system is becoming more and more compelling at a rapid pace. And honestly, Apple Where are you? I want to see some AI functionality being built into Apple, and I think it's going to happen this year. I think they're going to make some big announcements and really show us the next evolution of their operating systems, not only macOS, but iOS as well. So you know I'm going to be following closely. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.